So today we're going to talk about stress. Now, there's basically three different types of stress. There's physical stress, there's emotional stress, and there's chemical stress. And your body really doesn't tell the difference between the three stresses. It will actually respond the same way, and that response is through inflammation. Now, I like to think of us as a bucket. We can only hold so much stress. So if you can think of a bucket of water, one drop of water in an empty bucket is not that big of a deal. But one drop of water in a full bucket can become a very big deal. So it is important for us to manage our stresses because we don't want our bucket to get too full. Now, when it comes to physical stress, one of the main areas of physical stress is actually poor posture and poor spinal alignment. The better posture we have, the better spinal alignment we have, the least amount of stress on our body. And so if we have better structure and then we go into a stressful environment, we're going to be able to handle that stress a lot better. So for example, think of two buildings, one building with good structure and one building with poor structure, and then there's an earthquake. What building is going to have more damage to it is obviously the building with the poor structure. So again, the better structure you have, the better alignment you have, the more likely you're going to be able to deal with any type of stress, whether that's physical, emotional, or chemical. Now, chemical stresses are usually more obvious to people. We have pollutants. So, not smoking, not doing drugs, not, breathing in any type of fumes, those are things that we can definitely do. But sometimes those chemicals also come from our diet. So if we're eating a lot of processed foods, if we're eating a lot of sugary foods, those are stresses on our body. And again, that's going to create inflammation. And so that inflammation can manifest itself in many ways. It doesn't always just have to be weight gain. That stressful manifestation can be headaches, it could be skin issues, it could be digestive issues. Any type of inflammatory reaction, even if it's an autoimmune disorder, sometimes can be ramped up when we have increased stress on our body, and yes, even chemical stress from our diet. So making healthy food choices is really important in minimizing the overall stresses on our body. And then lastly, we have the emotional stresses. And now obviously, we can't avoid all stresses in life. We're going to have to deal with them on some level or another. But when we become overwhelmed with our stresses, especially our emotional stresses, then it's important to seek help or to get treatments. And so you can get professional help or professional treatments for these emotional stresses, or you can also do things at home, like I've suggested in the past, like meditation, yoga, going for a walk, journaling. All these things are really good ways of dealing with emotional stress. But all in all, stress is something that we do have to manage, because if we don't, then it's going to start to wear our bodies down, and we're going to start to see, unfortunately, very unhealthy manifestations of those stresses. This is Dr. Cardinal, helping you to live life well.